Let's go.
Bang on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tim Down for Living with MS in Tenerife. It's Wednesday, it's 5:55. And this, my friends, is Balcony Banter. And here we are in all our glory. Am I muted at all? I can't hear myself now. Did we die?
Hello.
Hello. No,
We
we're
are
okay.
here.
Oh, we're here. We're here. I think I must have just gone deaf for a minute there. Oh,
I
no.
didn't hear you very well either.
You didn't hear me very well either? Oh, that's good. I must have leant on my... Oh, there we go. No, that's it. My plug. I've killed something. No?
Plug it in properly.
I plugged it in properly, okay.
Evening all.
My faulty towers moment.
And there he is.
And there he
Ian.
is. There he is. So let's do this. Let's select this one and edit it. And let's get Ian in slot number 3. Where is he? There he is. Done.
I'm in trap 3 tonight.
There we go. So
Hey,
I'm on the right,
Ian.
so I can point this way. There you go. So you're over there. You girls are in the middle. Say hi.
Okay, hi.
And Ian, you're on the right today. Say hi.
Hello.
So
Hi, girls. Hi, everybody.
you've got to look to your right if you want to talk to us, okay?
All right.
Look to your right. That's your left. There you go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
this is Tim Down for Living with MS in Tenerife. We are here with my beautiful wife, Christina, my beautiful assistant, Juliani Nendel, and my beautiful executive producer, Ian Millar. There you
Oh,
go.
steady on, steady on.
So, what we got for you today? Today we got a discussion. There is a short video from Ian, but we do have a discussion, and this discussion is around the Mental Health Week in the UK, and also the speciality this time is loneliness. But it's to do. We can talk about anything to do with mental health. You can tell us your story. If you want to come on, go to timothydown.com and press the button to join in. I've got 5 seats. Ian's got one of them, so I've got places for another 4 people to come on and talk if you want to.
You can all sit around the pool.
You can all sit around the pool, exactly. Exactly. So there we are. So go to timothydown.com and say how to join, and there's a button there that tells you all about it. All you got to do is hold your phone sideways, log in, and give access to your microphone and your speakers. It's better if you got earphones, but if you don't, that's okay. And so come in and say hello. What else are we doing today? We're talking about loneliness. I'm going to tell you a story about a shock horror that happened to us. So stick around for that one. And not only that, but it really had an effect on my mental health, really. And also I had some news from the doctor last night, so stick around from that. That also had an effect on my mental health. And so let's just have a look to see who's on. We got 45 people watching. Juliani Nendel is in first, whoever that was. Oh no, Craig was in first. Sorry, Craig, you're
Yes.
always in first. I miss you there because you're in before me. Jeff Daniels, Flying Trucker, Anthony, Ian, Moira, Ian Miller, whoever that is. Marialty Photography, Stuart Blummer. Hi, everyone. Stuart Blummer. I don't think I've seen that name before. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new and I've spoken to you before, I'm sorry.
Welcome,
This,
Stuart.
yes. Julie Wade, Moira, Jenny from the... Hello, Ian, Christina, Juliani, and Tim, exclamation mark. I get an exclamation mark. Yay. I'm at the end of a sentence, all right? Okay. Welcome, Jen. If you ever want to come over and share a bottle of wine, it's open invitation any Wednesday. Just grab Juliani and pop over. I'm sure you can do that. David Longden's on and Marie's on. Oh, back in Ireland, back at work. So sorry. But you'll be back in September. Yay! And Heather McCarthy, good evening, everybody. So there's 50 people watching. Up to me, it says there's
Good.
3 thumbs up, and I'm one of them. I'm sure there's more than that.
And I'm the other one.
You're the other one.
So we need your help.
So it's
we
Craig, you and me at the moment.
we
yeah.
need your big thumb.
Ian, have you done a thumbs up yet?
No, I haven't actually.
There you
I will
go.
do though.
Christina, have you done a thumbs up yet? She doesn't have an account. She can't do a thumbs up. She'll do this. That's it. All right. Okay, what do we start with? We're going to start with Ian's thing, and we're going to start with one of my stories.
Go on, your story.
One of my
You can't
stories.
wait.
Your
You're already
story.
rubbing your hands.
I'm rubbing my hands. I got two stories to tell you today. One of them is an upper, and the other was a downer. So I'll tell you the upper first, because that's always good to have a positive start to the show, isn't it? Positive start to the show is you know that I've been going to the doctors because I'm pre-diabetic and I've got to reduce my weight and I've got to watch what I eat, and they sent me to these eye doctor to find out how badly diabetic I am. And then anyway, the results came back yesterday, and the doctor called me and she says, "You're not diabetic at all."
There you go.
So I've given up red meat, I've given up eating pastries, I've given up beer, right? And then she comes on the phone and says, "You're all right." So I said, so I've still not drunk beer,
Oh, okay.
so that's good. I've still not eaten cakes. And I think
That's not good.
Christina, because I'm not buying them, you see, so she's not getting them either. So yeah, it looks like that, but unfortunately, I've still got problems with my fingers going numb, and it's to do with me shoulders and back. So it's some pinched nerve, and they don't know whether it's a nervous problem or whether it's a muscular problem. So they said go and have a massage or something like that, or a what do they call it, a chiropractor thing. And if it is muscular, then it'll solve it or it'll help it. And if it isn't muscular, it won't hurt it. So basically go and do that. I said, how about getting it on the NHS ticket? And they went, think again, Buster. So I said, well, I'd already booked the 5-star suite in the Sheraton. But
So are you going to carry on with your walks?
oh,
And-
definitely. In fact, my walks I've actually started doing Mondays and Fridays as well now.
Oh,
So I'm walking Monday to Friday now.
that's a good routine.
It is a good routine, and then I have the weekends off, and I might even have a beer on the weekend.
Yeah.
But that's also okay,
Well
isn't
deserved.
it? That is also okay. I'm still drinking the odd glass of wine, but the last bottle that we got, which was a present actually
Yeah.
from Anne-Marie Elton, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was a present from Alan, that one. I know Anne-Marie brought us a bottle of wine, but that bottle was a present from Alan, and who was walking with me last Friday and came to meet up Monday. We had that in 3 meals, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
a couple of little glasses at the beginning, then a couple of little glasses on the second meal, and we polished it off on the third
yes,
meal.
the second one was without meal. And then we said it's not so good without a meal.
Right, it was
So
it was an excellent wine, but it was one of those wines where you got to eat with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Campo Viejo, so it's a very nice. The old field, I think that
Yeah.
translates to, doesn't it? Campo Viejo.
Muy bien.
Muy bien. I had to speak Spanish today as well for my second story, which I'll tell you about later. But that was pretty good. I got around it. Yeah. But because of my lack of Spanish, it gave me a shock first, but then it wasn't too bad. But I've given it away now. So it's also positive. There you go. So, Christina, what's happened to you in the last week?
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah, but something else has happened to you as well, hasn't it?
Is it?
Obviously not. Oh, yeah, you lost your memory, didn't you?
No,
How do you know?
because the doctor told me my brain is.
Yeah, but you don't remember the second doctor who says you're going to lose memory, and that guy in the black suit that flashed a light in your eyes. You don't remember that one? Well, there you go. It's the proof then, isn't it?
You made that up.
That is typical gaslighting. It's quite good, isn't
Yep.
it? Typical gaslighting. I like that. If it's done in jest, it's also not good. Got something in my tooth. So yeah, nothing's really happened, has it?
No, because
What about your daughter, your family?
My daughter, that is super. She's gonna come in August, she said.
Ooh.
How long for?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Just she and Malika.
So daughter and granddaughter come in to look after grandmother.
And then she's gonna come again, this time with her husband,
And Malika
Malika,
in
in September.
for her.
30th birthday.
And who's going to be here?
Your sister
And my brother.
and your brother
Yeah. So the Dowds are getting together.
and St. Stewart.
And St. Stewart's. What we'll have to do, we'll have to tell your family that we're doing that, and then anybody who wants to come can come, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that then.
They won't.
They won't? Don't like it.
Don't
Don't like it. Tenerife don't like it. You see, if it's not Südtirol and got German or Austrian food, they don't do it, do they? Foreign muck.
We got the three.
We got little. I tell them we got little Germany.
Germany.
Yeah, but that's Price, isn't it? That's North Germany. It's not
Oh,
Bavaria.
price.
I tell them they have to go to Villa Cortez, Villa Cortez.
Yes.
As there's underneath
Beer
there.
garden.
There's the beer garden, the Hofbräuhaus, or
Yeah.
the Hofbrauhaus, I think it is there. Not Bräuhaus because there's no umlaut. So there we go. You're a torment, Tim. Lol. You realise that lol was my dad's name. Every time I see it now, I see me on my dad because it was short for Lawrence.
Oh,
Yeah. Sometimes short for Lawrence is Larry,
okay.
but he went by Lol.
Lol.
And then that was before emojis and stuff. Right?
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And he hated his name until Stephanie came for a visit when she was a
When she was a
little
little girl, yeah, and she would call him Lol.
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 Lol. And then he loved it then. Bob's on in the background. Thank you, Bob. Charlie's there. Be there August for 2 weeks, Tim. Cool dude.
Wow.
Susan Robinson, how nice to see you. Craig Andrews saying evening at the tree. Charlie says, evening, Tim. Enjoyed the walk this morning. Well done. Next time you're over, give us a shout and we'll go walking together. Tomorrow I have a guest. We're going to be walking from Park Santiago 3 in the direction of Los Cristianos. I'm not sure how far we'll get. But you want to join in that. We'll be starting around about 9 a.m. Or as we say, 9 am. Or as we don't say, 9 am. Okay, we got 65 people online. David Butler's on with lots of hearts and thumbs up and claps and a little clover at the end. Is it a shamrock? A shamrock, there you
Yep.
go. A little shamrock in the end there. Of course, David Butler, shamrock. So where am I? Where am I? Anyway. Julie's on, and Giuliani, what have you been doing the last week?
Yeah, quite busy actually. Last week I was working up in the north in Santa Cruz, and yeah, I could do some training, and then gladly I made it down to balcony BANTER quickly home, and yeah, that was quite good actually. I enjoyed that, and then.
You did a really good job.
I met with Simon Turkis yesterday.
Oh, he's on the island as well, isn't he?
But he's going shortly back to England, so
He didn't want to come tonight, or didn't have time?
probably not.
Okay.
And yes, so that was good in Las Americas.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you went out to
if
Las
he-
Americas,
if he-
Veronicas.
Actually, yes.
You were in Veronicas?
Yeah, but the seaside. So it was the Cocoa Beach.
Oh, I know it, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
So that was a nice little change.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So we were here. There you go. I'm showing a picture of the island now. This is the picture which is behind us, actually. But the yellow has been blacked out because when I saw it yellow, it didn't look as good. It didn't look as good in yellow behind us there. It might do, actually. Should we put yellow up? No, we'll do it later.
Yellow
Do it
is
later.
very friendly.
It is yellow's friendly. That's why I got a yellow shirt on. Got loads of them. Did
Yes,
you see
yeah.
that video that I put up with the yellow shirts? I'll have to show it again.
Because you're a friendly guy.
I'm a friendly guy.
Yes,
I'm a
and you
friendly
as
guy.
well.
Unless I'm in the car. If you see me in the car, I'm a different animal. Where's your bloody indicators? No, you know how to drive. Gonna brake. Get a move on.
A different animal.
I am a different animal.
I'll never understand that.
So, Ian, my friend, what have you been doing the last week?
Just the usual chores roundabout. the weather just hasn't been very good. It's been a bit up and down and that, and just started my yearly maintenance on the house, and you know, it's an ongoing job. Unfortunately, you think you've cracked it, but you haven't. You've got next year comes round, you've got to start all over again. You know,
It's a
and
never-ending job. A
it's
man's work is never done, they say. Or was it a woman's
yeah,
work?
that's true. That's
I
true.
can't
That's
remember.
true.
I've got both of them at the moment. I do everything at the moment. I've
Well,
got a non-gender specific person's work is never done.
uh,
And of course, you've done another video for us, which we're going to see in a minute, right?
Yep.
yep.
So
Yeah,
do you want to set that one up?
yeah, basically, the reason that it came about so suddenly is I am a subscriber to our one of our local groups called Voluntary Action Angus, and I get notifications of things that happens every week and what have you. And this one actually came in, and it was highlighted. And I just thought, fine, this is a fine subject for us to talk about. Um, the actual subject that's been dealt with this week is loneliness, but the actual mental health week goes on all the year round. They actually pinpoint a subject or something like that, and they take a week and sort of laser focus on it. So I just sat down and put a wee bits and pieces together. So I hope the people out there can enjoy it and maybe pick up some hints from it. And also, we're looking for some ideas and some hints coming back as well, and we can sit and have a wee talk about it. That's basically it, like, you know.
Okay. Now I did put it together, but on looking at it, the ones with writing on, I've done them a little bit too short. So you're going to have to read very fast. But I'm sure we can go back and take a look at them afterwards. I'll see if I can download them just as pictures to look at, or we can just watch the beginning again. Now the beginning, the music is going to be fairly loud, because also I didn't put a limiter on it by accident. But if I turn it down, then we won't be able to hear Ian afterwards. So just be prepared for a bit of oh, in fact, I can actually control it here. So Ian,
Yeah, go for it.
okay, perfect. So I'll start with a bit of a lower volume, and so, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ian Millar.
Good evening. You may already be aware of the Mental Health Awareness Week. This annual event, hosted by the Mental Health Foundation, to promote the opportunity for the whole of the UK to focus on achieving good mental health. This year's theme is loneliness, which is running now from the 9th to the 15th of May. Loneliness is affecting more and more of us in the UK, and it has a huge impact on our physical and mental health during the pandemic. Our connection to other people and our community is fundamental to protecting our mental health, and we need to find better ways of tackling the epidemic of loneliness. We can all play a part in this. So in May 2022, we will be raising awareness of the impact of loneliness on our mental well-being and the practical steps we take to address it. Reducing loneliness is a major step towards a mentally healthier society. As always, we welcome your comments and maybe some ideas on how you would approach loneliness in a positive way. If you need more information, go to the www.mentalhealth.org.uk. They also have Facebook and various posts on YouTube. Thank you.
I've got to put us back up there. There we have it.
Well
Ian.
done,
Well
Ian.
done, yeah.
Really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like the background as well.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good.
Where was that?
It's just off one of our walkways, one of our pathways through the woods and that. It just walks along the side of the fields, and it's just a case of stepping over the side. I think that was the fourth take because there was people coming along with bikes and walkers and dogs and what have you. You get halfway through it, and there's a oh God, you know. But
You should have sent me the outtakes.
yeah, well, anyhow. Never mind. But no.
Cool.
So that's I'm just very interested to see what our feedback on how people out and about would actually tackle it. Because remember, this is a worldwide situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian, I think you did a really good job on on the video, but also I mean you are one of the great examples in giving a positive example to this exact topic and mental health awareness and how to not be lonely, because like a few weeks ago or months ago, you shared with us your story, why you actually participate with us, and how you enjoy it, or came to enjoying it, and that story was very touching and moving, and I think you're doing it really great. I mean, you're very proactive in what you're doing. Putting out good content all the time, joining us every Wednesday, and it doesn't stop there. Now you're even producing your own videos, so I think you are a very good example how it can spiral in a very positive way. A moment of loneliness or a moment of despair, maybe. So well done, you.
Thank you, Joe. I think before it was more a case of filling the void, but the void has now been filled, and I'm now looking to go a positive way forward and share with others in our community.
Yeah.
I have, since we started doing this, read every comment on the comments and on the chat as well. So I'm just trying to pick up bits and pieces that could maybe feed back in to the community and give them some ideas to go forward and to be positive.
Yeah.
Well, that's a full-time job, Ian.
Yeah, well, tell somebody else that.
Okay.
Basically, I mean, when you sit down and think about it, it's a lot to do with your own mindset. It's the way how you feel, how you think, and how you feel about it. You have to feel positive. If you can feel positive, you need to be brave, and you need to focus on something. once you've got your focus, yes, you can then take it forward. But I always say if you're going forward, you do it in small steps. Let's say baby steps. Don't jump in with both feet and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be okay. It takes a long time to get through, to build up your confidence to do something.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get into me lederhosen for 2 years.
Well, you're bound to be getting nearer with all this walking about you're doing.
Exactly. Exactly, Accrington Stanley.
Oh.
And another thing is, a lot of this, it affects everybody. It affects all age groups. It affects people at school, at colleges, students, middle-aged groups, etc.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would say it would affect students maybe a wee bit more, especially if they've got to move a great distance away from home to a different location altogether. What I would say to sort of them is get yourself involved with a group, or even if you have the mindset to do it and the courage, start up a wee group of your own, doing something, maybe book reading or something like that, something different away from your normal student duties, to keep your mind active, to give yourself something different to do. You know, it's actually the same as people, sort of middle-aged people, say retired and maybe find themselves lonely. In our community where I stay, they have our village hall. They have two things on in the month. One is just called the Friendship Club. The other one is called Soup Lunches. Now, the idea of the Friendship Club is you just go along for a couple of hours in the hall and sit round the table, have a wee chat. Sometimes they bring in guest speakers, maybe come in and speak a wee bit about, say, nature or something else, things like that. Likewise, with what they call the soup lunches, people can go along and pay your 50 pence or whatever it is, sit down, have a plate of soup and have a chat with all the people round about and things like that. Now, these groups are all run by volunteers. You know, it's all volunteers that runs these groups. As I said at the start of the programme, I picked up Voluntary Action Angus. Now, that is a group that works, it's a business group that works with the local authorities into the third sector. They have about 20 full-time people, but they are also supported by 200-300 volunteers. Now, these volunteers maybe only take 2 hours a week and maybe go into, say, sheltered housing complexes and help the people in there, maybe make have a tea afternoon, a tea and scone afternoon, or maybe be a bingo, go in and help them with their bingo collars and things like that. Things like that. This is where I would encourage people that's sitting about maybe at home or maybe just sitting about in their garage and looking for something to do. Be brave. Speak to your neighbour over the fence. Do you know of any groups are round about where I could join? If you like playing bingo or something like that, see if there's any bingo halls round about. Get a friend and go out to the bingo halls and join the community in the bingo hall. There you are for 2-3 hours in the afternoon, have a chat with your friends, and you're always learning something new. That is only a few of the things that I could think about. I could sit here all night and listen I would be interested what's coming back in, actually. I'm sorry, I'm not having time to read the chat at the moment, but is there anything coming in there? Can I have a wee look and see what there is?
Yeah, there was quite a few actually coming in. There was people agreeing with you. There's Maria saying mental health isn't awful. Mine's been a battle for years, but I take it one day at a time. And Linda was saying it affects everybody in one way or another. And Heather was saying to think positively. And Marie was saying that doctors are not that helpful. They give us up pills to take. I think she said the doctor's giving you pills to take, yeah?
Uppers.
Yeah, and Stephen's saying I think mental health is dealt with a lot better than it was years ago. So there's also the positive side of that. And Heather's saying it can be hard on people when they go out to meet people, then come back to an empty house. So going and doing the bingo is good when you're doing it, but coming back to the empty house puts you on the downer. And Anne-Marie is saying this channel and others have done wonders for lonely people over the past few years. And meeting lovely virtual friends who support each other. So yeah, we're doing something here, hopefully, to combat a little bit of loneliness.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And there's one comment that taking it one day at a time, I think, is a good advice as well. Doing or putting too much pressure on yourself is not really a good way to go about. So one day at a time, like enjoying that moment and just knowing that everything is gonna be fine and maybe working also on balancing and feeling more connected to your own self is a huge help in finding balance with that feeling of loneliness.
Yeah.
Because once we are disconnected from our own self, we feel lonely. And then it can come to moments like that when in a moment where we are out with friends or other people that we feel connected, but then is it only that we are seeking that connection in the external and not really with our own selves? So I mean, there's beauty in silence, and there's also beauty in being alone. And that doesn't mean that that you are lonely. It's
I was going to say alone doesn't mean loneliness.
Exactly.
Right? You can be in a room full of people and still be lonely.
Exactly.
I feel like that sometimes.
There's huge difference in that, and there's and it's good if people start realizing that it's a huge help working on slowly working one day at a time, working on connecting with your own self. I mean, you can practice that anywhere.
That's
Take
true.
half an hour, not to overwhelm yourself with something. Sit down in a room and just observe. You don't need to meditate or anything. Just observe how do you feel? Do you feel anxious that you are maybe not doing anything? Do you feel stressed out because nobody has contacted you? And just observe this and without too much judgment. Actually, maybe take notice of that.
So
And
don't psychoanalyze yourself. Just sit down and live the moment as it happens.
Exactly. And then and if there are situations that make you feel uncomfortable, that's just an indication for you to maybe improve that. That's exactly the inner work that needs to be done. Because we are always looking for solutions in the external, that some condition or a circumstance might change the situation, but it's not going to come from there.
That's true.
It's coming from our own inner work, from our daily inner work that we do with our own selves.
That's true.
And then we ripple out in the external. we have better maybe better relationships with others, better communication. We find it easier to smile. We find it easier to reach out to other people. It's a ripple effect.
The old ripple effect. Christina, I know that you like to be alone.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel lonely?
No. If I feel lonely, I just call somebody.
So that's your lifeline, is your telephone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever felt lonely in the past?
Can't remember, no.
No. And what do you think's the major thing that happened to stop you feeling lonely?
That I'm quite happy within myself.
Yeah.
So being alone doesn't faze you?
No.
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 Did you did you get a bus to Greece once alone?
Yeah?
Did you get a train to Paris once alone?
Yeah?
So you're pretty secure in your own company, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing, eh? It is. And you told a story that was quite funny early on when I asked you, how do you feel about being alone? And did you enjoy that? How was it as a kid?
Yeah. When I was a kid, it was my birthday, and I invited lots of other children. They all came, they all brought presents, and then I took the presents and went in my room and played. And my mom was really not amused.
I think I'll do that on my birthday.
Yeah.
It's a wee comment that's actually popped up there that I've just noticed. As I said, loneliness affects all age groups. There's a wee comment just come up there. As a young child, I often felt lonely in a very crowded schoolyard. A lot of kids and older kids feel happy where they are, but once they leave their say their pals and what have you, then if it's a one child family or a one parent family, these kids begin to feel lonely as well. They look on their school days as to keep them happy, but it's a sudden change. I think you actually touched on it, Juliana, there, is you need a wee bit of self-care on yourself as well.
Yeah. And knowing, getting to know yourself a little bit better. Maybe we don't really oftentimes take the time to get to know ourselves because the conditions, or like school, for instance, then later on work or taking care of somebody is limiting exactly that. Getting to know ourselves a little bit better. What do I actually like, or what do I enjoy? Where do I find balance in my life? How does balance look like for me? Because balance is quite individual as well. Tim might be very balanced, and I would be completely out of balance if.
The thing is, I know I've heard the saying and I've heard the phrase, but I don't know what balanced means, to tell you the truth. And I'm always thinking like physical. Is it balancing, or am I balancing 2 things or 5 things? Or I really don't understand. It's because I'm built differently, I think. That I hear a lot of words that I don't really understand. So what would balance mean?
Well, I would say it's not set in stone, but definitely it has to do with body, mind, and soul. The triangle, the holistic.
Okay.
Yeah, and any situation that puts you under stress, it means actually that you are out of balance.
Right. Okay.
So that can be on a physical level. You are out of balance, and that shows. I mean, you can go throughout a period of time and just cover it up or camouflage and so on. But it will reflect and show on the external, on a physical level, sooner or later. So then that is then out of balance.
Okay.
Also, the emotional level is can be very much out of balance. I mean, situations like we just had, pandemic, made people feel very out of balance, because from one day to the other, life was completely upside down. Work was not the primary focus, or maybe has shifted very much to a different place. Many had to work from home and had to adapt very, very quickly to radical changes, which caused enormous amount of stress, and those stress points, they are very important to look at. What is important to me? How do I feel good? And we oftentimes adapt to our loved ones. Oftentimes it is like that we in a family,
Yeah.
we do things because we want to be a good partner or a good daughter or a son, but really looking at ourselves, what we need and what we want to be able to give. We cannot give anything if we don't have it.
You know that I'm totally different, right?
Yeah.
So I don't identify with mind, body, and soul being three different things, and so therefore that's why I can't grasp this balance. But I think what you're saying is that if the external things work on you, then you have to deal with them, and you can deal with them in one of many ways.
Yeah.
You can wish them away. You can hit them head on. You can pretend it's not happening, or you can be miserable that it's happening. Yeah. So there's lots of different ways to deal with external stimuli, right?
Yeah.
And if you have like a soul, a mind, and a body, then maybe you can juggle your inner workings to make you feel better about the situation by putting it into that context. So I don't have that context, so therefore I either have to ignore it or hit it straight on. There's no other options for me, which is good because it gives me two options. Like my father used to say, if you have a problem, solve it. If you can't solve it, it ceases to become a problem. It's a situation over which you've no control, so forget it, you know? And that has helped me a lot, because sometimes I think you're trying to solve problems that either don't exist or there's no way you can influence them.
Yeah.
And that will make you out of balance in that way, because you're trying to do something you can't do. And ignoring them, I was going to do the third one, but ignoring
You
them.
count differently,
They
right?
count differently. But ignoring an external stimuli that's attacking you, if you like, in your comfortable sack, basically a sack of water that we are. Then you can come into some sort of mental fighting with yourself. I think it is. It's fighting with yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think balance. Then I can sort of get into that now.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't need to name it. It doesn't need to be body, mind, and soul. I just wanted to put it into that context,
Okay.
as we are always talking about that. And as I'm here as a holistic mentor,
There you go.
holistic has to come in some way.
Holistic is the same as it's all together, right? That's what holistic means.
Yeah, whole. It comes from the word whole,
Whole.
and not the whole.
No.
It's
the
whole
with a
the
W at the
whole
beginning.
with the-
A silent
yes,
W, yeah.
exactly.
Why do we have silent W's?
Holiness.
That's why we have silent W's in English
Yeah.
to differentiate between the whole and the whole.
Yeah.
I'd like to come back in with a couple of comments that's come up in 2 3 different forums there. It's all mean the same. People are frightened of reaching out to somebody else. How do they go about reaching out? It's if you have, I would say, if you have a family member, a close family member, reach out to them, or a close friend
How would you
that you could
describe reaching
that you
out,
could.
Ian? I mean, let's say I was having a problem and I need to reach out. Is reaching out going and spilling the beans to say I'm not in a great place, I need help, or is reaching out going and sort of saying you need to look at me, or how do you approach that? Because I think that will change the way that people react to you. If somebody comes and says I need help and ask for help, then people will get on and help, you know. But if you come over and sort of say maybe you need to just look at me,
Yeah.
it can be seen as something else, you know.
Yeah.
So grabbing attention, so reaching out can have a positive reaction and sometimes also a negative reaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would need to be how you felt and how you want to reach out. I mean, if it was me, I would sort of uh, could I share something with you? Maybe ask him a question. I know it is a difficult thing to say and difficult thing to speak about, but I think you have to pluck up courage. If you are feeling very very lonely and down, you're bound to other people is bound to see that as well. So you
Okay.
have to try and pluck up the courage to speak to somebody and say, "Do you mind if I ask you something?" Just ask them a simple question.
So starting a
It's
conversation.
Yeah.
you have to yes, you have to start. Uh, Going back to the statement I said before, self care
Yeah.
on yourself. I said it at the very beginning. You have to do it in very, very tiny steps. It's getting the confidence to say to go and do that.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Oh, I just go to the doctor and he just prescribes me pills." But to me, that's not a solution.
No.
Yeah, Ian, I think it's quite good what you're saying there. Asking a question that's a good icebreaker, maybe, and it's good for yourself then to gain that little bit of confidence, and then celebrate it as well. I think if we're talking about going in increments and step by step, it's really worthwhile celebrating those little achievements and giving yourself this little bit of self-care and self-love. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. I think once if you've approached just let's say it's your neighbour over the fence. If you've approached that neighbour and asked them that question, and you're happy with it, just walk away. You could then you have it in your mind. Oh, they spoke to me. I'll go back and maybe ask them another question, and maybe just have a wee chat. As you said, you've broken the ice.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that by breaking the ice is a first step.
Yeah, and
To- to-
we often in our heads assume things, and that's another thing maybe to release assumption. You know, it's quite hard sometimes, but assuming that somebody would react in that way is not really helpful. So people in general are quite willing to help.
Uh-huh.
it's the outlook we have oftentimes about life and about people that makes or breaks it.
Yep.
So and that can change very quickly. So attitude is a very big one on that as well. If your outlook on life is maybe that people are not helpful or they are they're assuming that I'm a little bit awkward or this could be this or this could be that. Just maybe give yourself this little nudge and that little extra courage to actually think in the opposite way. Even though it's a task and it's quite a big task, a challenge even to think in the opposite way.
I got some comments here I want to reach out
Yes.
to.
Yeah,
I put myself in the middle here on a little round thing, so you're
yes.
answering the comments there. Joanna's saying babysitting the grandchildren all week, so no loneliness this week. And gambling freedom. If you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. Is going a little bit funny here and said a well-balanced person has a bottle of wine in each hand. There you go. And Johnny Vloggers on. Stephen says, I believe the leading cause of death in men aged 20 to 49 in England and Wales is suicide, which is a really sad statistic. Are we doing enough in help and support? Good question. JJ's on. And Anne's Marie saying alone time can be great, but feeling lonely when people are all around can affect mental health, especially for those who can't reach out to family and friends. Mm-hmm. And Heather's saying it must be very hard not to be able to reach out to somebody for help.
Yes.
What was the other one I was looking at? Pete and Shell, some people feel lonely even with people around them. Yes. And Johnny's saying I should get advice or help sometimes, but procrastinate. So putting it off till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Joanna's saying it's very good advice from my dad. You know, either solve your problem or forget about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work. just as a disclaimer there, it doesn't always work. Craig saying mental health surround emotional, psychological and social well-being. It influences cognition, perception and behavior. It also determines how an individual handles stress,
Exactly.
which is also true.
Yeah.
If you are feeling really down, courage is not a word you understand. That's deep.
But true, it needs a lot of work on yourself to build up that courage.
Yes.
And yes, absolutely, it's easier said than done. And what for somebody else might be an easy thing to do, and gaining that little bit of courage might be an extreme undertaking for somebody else.
Oh, right.
Absolutely.
And Gambling Freedom says, you ever talked to somebody and felt more lonely? Gambling Freedom, I like the way you go in there, but we'd like to know your name if that's nice, because on these types of topics, having a pseudonym is not really good. So if you're willing to just share a first name, that would be great. And Heather McCarthy saying it's taking courage to be able to reach out and speak to someone. Yes, Daniel will be sure to be a great guy to talk to. Ah, okay. Daniel would be a good guy to reach out to, said Tony Lingard. Daniel is the Craicmaster you're talking about there, that Daniel.
Yep.
And Craig Andrews, Kim, are you the man in the moon? Lol. And then Craig Andrews says, Tim, sorry. Are you saying Tim, you're sorry? Or are you saying it's Tim, not Kim? I'm the man in the moon. I'm the man in the moon.
You're the man in the moon.
Oh.
He accidentally wrote Tim.
No, I'm not going to sing on Johnny Vlogger's karaoke on Friday. I'm busy on Friday, unfortunately. But I will go on Johnny Vlogger's karaoke again. And for those of you who don't know, Johnny Vlogger has a channel. And on a Friday night, he does karaoke till 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. After Freaky Friday, go and give him some love as well.
Woohoo.
So I want to tell my second story now, if I may.
Yes.
Can I tell my second story?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ian. Do you have something to finish up on that particular subject?
I have a. Yes, okay, I'll finish up with this wee paragraph that I've got here, actually.
Okay.
And that'll close the subject down for tonight. It says the power of pets. Companion animals bring love and laughter into our lives. By giving care and affection, you receive even more care and affection back, which brings you comfort and help to keep the worry and the loneliness at bay. The routine of care gives a sense of purpose to each day and can even have health benefits. Walking a dog, for instance, gives you exercise, allows you to get into nature, and they're a great way to connect with other animal lovers. Numerous studies have shown having a pet has a positive impact on your well-being. So why not visit an animal rescue shelter and see how you might fit a companion animal into your life? Thank you.
Wow.
Yes. Well, that's
Christina's already got a companion animal. He's called Tim.
Guys,
I was waiting for that one.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the hour is nearly up, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming today. I did promise you a second story right at the end, so that'll be coming up soon. But just to give you an idea, next week's topic, Ian, is... I always get him, don't I? I always get him. And the thing is, I should know as well, because it's my channel.
and I should know too.
Yeah. So we all should know, but
I'm quite sure it's pleasantism.
it could be pleasantism.
It is pleasantism.
Pleasantism, there you go. So we're all going to be in black and white next week for Pleasantville.
Pleasantism.
Well,
I don't know whether I can do that. Maybe I can. Maybe I'll see if I can technically do that next week, or at least we'll have a video where it's black and white except the person. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want me to do that on? If you got a video for pleasantness?
No,
No?
not yet. Huh?
Well, let's make one.
Yeah.
We'll make
Not
one
yet.
between us.
Not
We'll
yet.
Make one between
Not
us.
yet.
Okay.
Things might change.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell my story. So don't jump off to yet. We got 72 people watching. So I'm going to go to me. So solo mio. So what's the big thing that really rocked my world? I got a letter.
and mine too.
Our world. Yeah. I got a letter. The postman rang the bell. And I thought, oh, my parcel's arrived. And I went down, and it was a letter that you have to sign for from a lawyer. And I went, uh-oh, what have I done, right? So anyway, I opened it up, and I thought it's probably somebody suing me for giving them the finger in the car or something, because I told you I'm sort of like,
The animal.
the animal in the car, yeah. But I've got the windows closed, so they can't hear me, you know. I mean, I'm just blowing off steam. But anyway, I was reading it, and it's in Spanish, so I'm trying to translate on the fly, I'm not too bad at the moment reading Spanish. But it was a lawyerese as well, so there were a lot of words I didn't know. But I could sort of skim through the paragraph, and it would sort of tell me the gist of it. And the biggest gist was no prorrogar, which means we are not extending, right? And we are not extending your rental agreement this year, because I signed the contract for 5 years in 2014 with the option to extend every year automatically. But after 8 years, the landlord has the right, and I've read this now, it's a law, the landlord has the right to not extend it a further year. So we've been here nearly 8 years now. On the 14th of June, we'll be here 8 years, and they send you a month before, they send you a letter saying, thank you for all your stuff like that, but we're not going to extend your contract. Please be out of the flat by the 15th of June and drop the keys off at this address. My chin hit the floor. I read it 3 or 4 times. I was so down in the dumps, I didn't know how to tell Christina. I went online immediately and started looking how much the flats were in the area. I couldn't get a 2-bedroom flat here for under €800. There's nowhere. and those at €800 were not nothing like what we have, right? And something similar to us, we're going to like 900 to even €1,200 for a more modern one, right? Maybe with 2 baths. So I was devastated. I thought, oh my God, what we're going to do is like the end of the life, right? And so I ran upstairs and I said to Christy, she said, what, did you get your parcel? I said, no, it's a letter from a lawyer. We're being thrown out the flat. And I didn't do that. I shouldn't have done it like that, but I was so down in the dumps. I just wanted to share the pain, you know? And,
You should always do that.
well, go rip the plaster off immediately, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway, so I said that and we read it again, and I read it about 4 or 5 times. And then it says, and call this number. So I just called the number. Hello, this is Anna. Hi, it's Tim in 119. Oh, yeah. I've got a letter saying you're throwing us out. Yeah, that's right. I said, well, what can we do? She says, did you call the lawyer? I said, yeah. No, I called the lawyer first. And he said, oh, yeah, I put a number at the bottom of the thing for you to call. So I called the woman and she says, yeah, no, it's no problem. Just call the lawyer, she says. I said, but I called him and he told me to call you. What we're doing now? She says, just call the lawyer. So I'm thinking that she doesn't want to deal with me and she's just throwing me out and you know, talk to the lawyer, don't talk to me. So I was really down in the dumps. And then I sat down with Google Translate as well, which I didn't really need in the end because it was one word or one little phrase that I'd missed in all the stuff. And it says, please drop the keys off here, or if you want to negotiate a new contract, call this number. So I thought, oh, right. So all they're doing is they're stopping the old contracts, which contracts in Spain have written in stone, and you're not allowed to increase the rents by more than inflation, right? Which they've done over the past 8 years, and it's gone up maybe €40. Not even that. It's gone up €20, I think, yeah, in the last 8 years. So now I go to the place, and I've got an appointment now to see the owner, who I've never met, because I've always gone through this, you know, people beforehand. So I met the owner today, and she said, yeah, well, we're not extending the contract, but if you want a new one, it's new terms. And I said, how much? And they said, it's an extra €240 a month, which actually just brings us up in line to the other ones that I was looking at. So it probably is correct, but it's not nice to get a letter like that. So I was really down in the dumps, but because I had the good news of the doctor, it sort of balanced it out. So there's my balance.
There you go.
There's the balance. There you go.
And it was good on you to calm yourself down to read the
small print,
little
yeah. Because if we'd have just been
paragraph.
chucked out, we'd have had
Yeah.
it. We'd have had it. I'd have got to live in Ghana or Singapore. No, I can't afford Singapore either. Where can we afford?
Nothing really.
No, we can't afford anything. We can't afford to move. We're squatters. We'll just be squatters.
You want to be here on the balcony.
We do.
Yeah.
So balcony banter wouldn't have been the same.
Exactly.
So so if you want to contribute to this channel to help us out, then you're quite willing to help us to do, you know.
Yeah, let's get you up to 7K then.
Oh, and the other good news is I think we've hit 6,000 people.
Yes, you have.
I think we hit 6,000 subscribers. So thank you all so much for the 6,000 subscribers there. Ladles and jelly spoons. It's over the hour now. We're just going to close down. Final thoughts, Ian? You've had your final thoughts, but any personal message?
Not really. As I said, mental health awareness goes on the whole year, and it's just a laser focus on loneliness for this week. We do hope that we've maybe given you guys out there some food for thought. Thank you.
Cool. People are just asking. We're not moving, no. We're biting the bullet and paying the extra cash.
Yeah.
So yeah. Juliani?
Yes, I mean mental health is important, and it's all year round. It's not just a 1 week thing, and it's good on working on your own balance. What we were talking about today, and
I've seen people go crazy for a week when they arrive here. You know who you are. You know you are.
And that's also out of balance.
Or maybe that's their real person and they're out of balance all the rest of the year. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Christina Lee, any personal message before we go?
I was just thinking that people have changed over the years a lot. They take themselves so important, and sometimes it's not so easy to
change back, to realise how insignificant we really are.
just talk to other people because you're gonna be the best.
I think social media has done that. I think social media may have done that, but that's a discussion for another time. So let's make a mental note on a piece of paper. How does social media and self-build? What's self-build in English?
Self-image.
Self-image. Yeah. How does social media affect self-image, and how does self-image affect your mental health? There you go.
Very good.
That'll be, if you've got any answers or you got any comments on that, don't forget to contact Ian, because he's collecting all the questions for us. And Ian, you can contact in the link in the description. And there's nothing less for us to do apart from go to the beach, right?
And if you need any suggestions on mental health, or how to reach out to people or reach out in general, just contact me or go to my website julianenendel.com.
And there it is, right on the screen as we're saying it. Yes.
In the pool.
Whoa. Somebody was asking about the weather. The weather is windy, but it's 25 degrees in the shade. It's warmer in the sun, but we're in the middle of two. The Western Islands are in hot, and we're in cool, and they're going like this. And in the middle, in Gran Canaria, there was massive storms overnight. So but we're not going to get the storms, luckily enough. But we are in a cool depression at the moment. But it's still 25 in the shade.
But
with a
we're
little
not
bit of wind.
depressed.
We're not depressed, no. So, ladles and jelly spoons, this is Tim Dowd, Juliani, Christina, and Ian saying...
Vamos a la playa.
Don't forget to join in every week for Balcony Banter at the same time, Wednesdays at 5:55. And of course, Freaky Friday's coming up next. If you're on the island and you want to sit in a bar and chew the fat with me, contact me at timothydown.com, and we can meet up on Friday and just have an informal chat. I will interview you.
Vamos a la playa.
And of course, on Meet Up Monday,